Nice to see you all.
Hello.
Today we are chit-chatting about the concept of how do you master disagreements? How do you handle disagreements when you don't agree, when you don't get along, when you're not on the same page? How do you navigate this?
Can you hear me okay? I think I just muted myself.
You did, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So we're talking about disagreements in relationships.
That's what we're talking about.
I love it. When was the last disagreement that you had in any relationship?
Lots. I think they happen all the time. And so one thing we need to think about is I have a couple questions here. One of them is, when was the last disagreement you had? Did you win? Did you lose? Did it end with a proper resolution? And I think this is one of the big fallacies that people, it's what causes the problem is whenever there's a disagreement, number one, step back, or if you can, if you have the awareness, step out of the situation and look at the whole situation. So if you're in a disagreement and it's you versus them, it's like raw. If you could imagine, I don't know what to use. I need props.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use these. Imagine instead of you versus them arguing, all of a sudden you're looking at it from the side. So you step out of the situation. You can now see person A, person B, and you're disassociating from me versus them. And it's just, oh, I can see two people disagreeing. Now, what's interesting, if you can see two people disagreeing, then the very first question you have to ask is, what is most important to each person? And disassociate. It's not you anymore. It's person A, person B, and take a pen and paper out and ask, what is most important to person A? And write down what you believe is most important. And what's most important to person B? Write down what you believe is most important. The moment you do that, it's no longer about winning or losing. Now it's about saying, let me ask a bigger question. I wonder if there's a way that I could help both people that I'm observing get what's most important to them throughout this conversation. Because what people generally start to argue about is trying to prove or win or trying to get what they want, when in reality, if both sides knows what's most important to each side, usually it's pretty easy to find a way forward where both people actually get what's most important to them. And you go, here, you get this, you get that. A friend of mine was sharing this the other day. I think I might have shared this yesterday, where he was talking about if his spouse and him got in the car and they started driving, and then all of a sudden, 5 minutes into the drive, they're already running late. And 5 minutes into the drive, they're going to see some friends. His wife says, hey, I forgot my phone. And he goes, what do you do? Now we're in a disagreement. She says, I want to go back and get my phone. And he goes, we're already late. We can't be rude. Let's keep going. Now they can sit and argue. They can get into a disagreement on, well, you're being rude. Take me back to get my phone. Or we're being rude if we show up late. You should have been more prepared. We're just going to keep going. Now and I said, what are the options? He said, well, you could do what person one wants, which is just keep going. You can do what person two wants, which is go back. But now you're fighting over what's right or who's right. And I said, well, wait a second. If you pulled over and in 90 seconds of a conversation said, real quick, what is most important to you? I want my phone. Okay, why do you want your phone? I want my phone so I can stay in touch with my kids, because if one of them get hurt, I need to know immediately. Or my sick mother or father's in the hospital and I need to get the updates. Or a friend of mine is trying to stay in contact with me about this project we're working on and I need the information. So staying connected to specific people is most important. Yes. Okay, good. Now you go person one, person A, what's most important to you? And they say, what's most important to me is being respectful of our friend's time. So if I said I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. We have to get there on time. Okay, great. So the argument over, do we just keep going forward? Do we turn around? they're not even really arguing about what's most important. And if we were to go, is there a way to do both? We go, yeah, here, take person A's phone, hand it to person B and say, here, use my phone, text the person, you forgot your phone, but you have my phone. They can contact you anytime they need for the next few hours because we're going to dinner. You keep my phone, you stay in contact with them. We'll keep driving forward. Boom. We just solved both of what was most important to both people. And all it took was those quick 3 steps. Number 1, step out aside. Number 2, find out what's most important to both people. And number 3, figure out, is there an option where we can help both people quickly get actually what's most important to them? And what's amazing about that is we find out that argument wasn't about winning or losing. The argument was about finding out what was most important to both people and then finding if there's an option that allows both to happen. And the moment that's calibrated, the argument disappears. There's a few other tips we've learned about arguing that make a world of difference. Maybe my lovely wife would love to share soft startup or any of the other tips I know you love.
Oh, thanks. So the soft startup is one that we love by John and Julie Gottman. And it's a very simple framework, but super effective because instead of, you versus I, it's more so of a conversation of, hey, this is where I'm at, this is how I feel, and this is what I need. And so how that simple framework goes, it's just 3 steps. And the first step is, I'm feeling what? And you share a specific emotion. I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm angry, disappointed, upset, whatever it is. I'm feeling blank when, or I was feeling blank when blank happened. What was the specific event? And try to leave out you statements. So instead of saying, when you didn't do the dishes, instead say, when the dishes weren't cleaned or finished.
Hey,
right?
I always do the dishes.
You do always do the dishes. You do such an epic job. You are the greatest dishwasher that's ever existed. And I'm so grateful for every single dish.
I always have a backup career if this doesn't work. So
yes, you do. So leave out the you statement in the middle. It's about you. So don't even worry about them. I'm feeling upset when the dishes weren't done last night. And what I need is communication. If they're not able to be done, just let me know that they weren't able to be done and I'll get to them or whatever that is. So be very specific on how you're feeling, what the situation was, not what you did or what they did, but what the situation was. And then finally, what you need. And it's a way that just diffuses any defensiveness. And that's the magic of that tool. Even though your primal animal brain probably wants to attack and defend and protect yourself from feeling hurt and all of those feelings, it's the wrong thing to do and the right thing to do, because they'll just likely kind of attack back or protect themselves or become defensive. And then you're just in this gridlock and not going anywhere. Can you come back, please?
You were on your moment. I wanted to give you the whole screen.
And then what you do is instead, it's just a way to allow more empathy to enter the relationship and conversation instead of defensiveness. So that's one tool we absolutely love. I just want to add to that, like what Jarek was saying, really listening to the needs, not only that you have in the moment, but also that they have. And our brain is going to do whatever it can to save calories and make things easier, quicker, faster. That's just what it does because it consumes a lot of calories all day long. And so it's trying to just be energy efficient and just get things done. And the truth is, you have to remember that you're in a relationship, and a relationship isn't just one person, it's 2 people. So we have to take into consideration, what are their needs? What do they need in this moment? And maybe they don't completely match, but like Jarek was saying, a great relationship is about finding that middle road, about finding how can we both meet each other's needs, even if it's not exactly how we envisioned it would be, but we're still able to get creative and tap into that resourcefulness and abundance and creativity and possibility inside of ourselves to find a way to be in relation together, right? Okay, come back.
That's right. That is right. You nailed it.
Okay.
You got to give the woman the stage when she's ready to take it on and the spotlight shines. You're killing it. Great job, Robbins. But that's right. So coming back to the same concept of values of if you're getting into an argument, taking a moment to ask, what is most important? Someone gave me a great quote one time. They said, would you rather be right or would you rather be in love? And if you think about that, there's often times where we are righteous. We want to be right. We want to prove our point. We want to have our way. We want to get what we want. And we're more committed in that moment. We're saying what's most important to me is my own ego, my own validation, my own dominating the conversation, or my own that you're after. And what you're saying in that moment behaviorally is that's more important than them. That's more important than your love for them. That's more important than the relationship you have with them. That's more important than, them feeling seen, unappreciated.
Which, can I add, that's just such a breeding ground for resentment. And resentment is one of the main causes of relationships to fall apart. Yep. So if we can do a better job of not just focusing on our needs and how to meet our needs, but the needs of our partner, it's a game changer. And a lot of times too, like one other thing that has helped us tremendously is not trying to change the other person and thinking they need to do it this way, or, trying to change someone isn't loving them for who they are. And the best thing we can do in the relationship is also, not always the easiest. It's changing ourselves. It's upgrading ourselves. It's working on ourselves to be the best version of ourselves in the relationship. And lo and behold, you'll see that the relationship dynamic changes as well. We actually will get even more than what we dreamed of if we choose to do the work on ourselves and bring that, evolved, grown version, transformed version of ourselves, tapping into the best and highest version of ourselves. We bring that to the relationship. All of a sudden, the relationship will start to flourish even more.
That's right. I know you have to go. You have a training coming up for Performance Coach University. Quick commercial. If you like learning tools like this, how to better communicate, better lead, better challenge, manage, and inspire your team to greatness, you might want to check out performancecoachuniversity.com/apply. Or if you're working on self-coaching, you're working on becoming a better version of yourself, you want to apply these tools to your own life first, because you might not feel qualified to take other people through the process yet, because you need to practice and master the tools yourself. If so, just send me a direct message that says send me the info, and I'll send you all the details on our Core 4 challenge, where we help people use these tools in their own life to experience the breakthrough, transformation, and aha moments that allows them to finally step into the fullest version of who they can be as a leader, as a coach, as someone in society who is making a powerful, positive difference in the world for themselves and the people they care about. Tomorrow, just to give you a hint, we're going to talk about 3 things that if you get these 3 pieces right, just about every argument and disagreement in your life will almost instantly dissolve. If you get these 3 parts right, no matter what the disagreement is, no matter what the argument is, no matter what the frustration is, if you get these 3 pieces correct, all of that will 99.999% of the time completely dissolve, and you'll get back to an amazing relationship. So tune in tomorrow. We'll share that with you. Any last words from my amazing wife?
I'm so pumped for this training we have coming up. We have a new cohort starting at Performance Coach University. They are badass humans doing great things in the world. I just got off the phone with someone at a very high level government position. It's pretty cool. Like, they're elite military pro athletes, executives and leaders. So if you're a high achiever looking to become a better leader, increase your performance and the performance of the people around you, join us. Pumped for that. I love this conversation. I'm glad we talked about relationships today. I'm excited for tomorrow. That's all. Okay.
See you later, alligator. Toodaloo, caribou.